Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Supercars. Of course, last weekend was the Sandown 500. It's back. It's back in Enduro format, and my God, I've missed it. But before we get underway, I want to give a big warm welcome again to Alex. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for having me on the show.
He pointed out in post-production that I forgot to give him a plug. So, Alex, would you like to give a plug before we get underway?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I'm a sim racer, so I stream on Twitch at least once a week, and on the Instagrams, Facebooks, Alex Spinozzi, and Twitch at Alex Spinozzi Sim Racing, all one word.
Thank you very much. So all that, like the link to his stuff, will be in description or show notes, both today and the F1 one as well. So, of course, the Sandown 500 happened this weekend. It was a right race. It wasn't too bad. Not a whole heap happened. It was more at the beginning and then the end, really. Did you enjoy the race?
I did. It was quite long, and you know there were some action, but it feels so good that the Sandown 500 is back properly.
It's such an event, isn't it? Like,
it's just
you could hear the grandstand, especially in the Super 2 race. You could hear the grandstand just go wild.
Yeah, we have to talk about the Super 2 race after we talk about Supercars.
Yes,
because oh my God, like, oof, those boys were athletes.
Let's quickly brief over Super 2, I reckon. Get it out of the way.
Yeah, okay.
So, race one, well, there's nothing really to talk about, to be honest. Ryan Wood led the field from start to finish. He drove superb. Zach Best and Zach Bates were your top three. And in Super 3, Job Stewart won because Cam McLeod was leading the whole race until the last lap when he ran out of fuel.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That's just heartbreaking.
And not only that, but McLeod the next day was involved in a lap 1 incident, which took him out the race instantly, and apparently he lost the championship lead.
He did. So that race was hectic from start to finish. He actually had steering damage, like wheel damage, I think, before going into that corner. That's why he couldn't turn.
Oh,
and unfortunately, because of that, a massive crash happened at turn 4 with Masterton. I don't know how you say his name. Had a massive shunt. Yeah. It was a huge shunt.
Crick. And Crick as well.
Yes, yeah. I thought you said Quick. Yeah. I was like, what?
Cameron
Quick. He had so much damage in the front end, like this on the door as well. Matt Charter was involved, and Ellie Morrow as well. And there's not much you can do about it. It was more of a racing incident. Everyone was trying to move out the way.
Yeah, it was everyone taking avoided action and then didn't avoid each other.
And then Zane Morse pushed the championship leader off at turn 9, which ultimately ended Zane Morse's race a lap later when he parked up at turn 8, which brought out another safety car.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird. He came to pit.
Yeah.
And then just turned left and kept going. And I don't know if the pit lane was closed. That's what the commentator was saying. The fact that the pit lane could have been closed, which still I don't think that's not a reason to come in.
Yeah, that was weird. I need to look into that further because he must have listened to Lightning McQueen. Turn left to go right, or is it go right to go left?
Oh, in this case, it's turn left to go straight. So
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't know why he didn't come in, but I'm sure there is a reason for it. But it was an amazing race, and it got even better toward the end.
Yeah, when that back straight there. So, backtrack to the final corner. Ryan Wood went a little too hot into Aaron Love and pushed him off the circuit, but he actually gave the position back. But in doing so, it was Bathurst 2016 all over again.
Yeah, which is a good memory for me as an McLaughlin fan. So Cooper Murray and Brad Vaughan and Kai Allen got into it, so it was almost 4 wide down the front straight. And
Yeah, and then come the back straight, there were 3 wide at the kink, and that never works out. And Aaron Love, unfortunately, got spun, and his day was done from there.
Yeah, he definitely copped it, smashed the fence. I'm just looking at
shout
the
out to,
results. Ryan Wood still finished third, and so did Vaughan second.
Yeah, like the commentators said, it was amazing that only one car was affected.
Yeah, unbelievable.
From that, everyone else kept going.
Unbelievably.
But got to give a shout out to Murray though. He managed to take advantage of that to win. He was sitting in 4th or something like that at the time, or 5th. Yep. So yeah, obviously he won. 2nd was Brad Vaughan, and 3rd was Ryan Wood. And it just shows that Ryan Wood deserves that seat next year. Deserves the mid-season announcement.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what he does next year.
Yeah, I think the fact that the World Consortium Red United now have 2 cars in Super 2 definitely helps them in picking a new driver now that Nick Perker has unfortunately departed. But yeah, we'll see how Ryan Wood goes in the main game. It's kind of like the Matt Payne kind of scenario. It's like, oh, everyone's thinking, oh, okay, interesting. And then, well, the kid does amazing and finishes 6th. We'll talk about it more.
Yeah, we'll get into that very, very soon. But, so Super 3, Job Stewart won. Cameron, like you said, Cam McLeod had a shocking weekend, and his championship's pretty much done in terms of being able to win it. Job maximised this weekend, both the wins, and he won the round as well as Ryan Wood. And here's the championship for Super 2. Zach Best still leads the way despite being pushed off the circuit. Kai Allen is 2nd and Ryan Wood is 3rd. So, without further ado, let's get to the Sandown 500. And it started off fairly well. It was actually quite clean, I must admit. It was kind of perfect until lap 19, which is when Tander's wheel decided to go on holiday.
Yeah, it just said, I'm out. And forced Tander to a 360, no control of the car, and smashed the fence. Day done. And I feel so most sorry for Dave Reynolds, who never got in the car.
I know, and the thing is, they were on for a good result, I reckon, because they were both fastest in warm-up.
Were they 3rd at the time? Or very close. They were very close to the front, because they're behind both.
They were very close to the front. And also, I was very excited to see what Cam Waters and James Moffat could have done. But they had a freak accident where the wheel decided to bounce the rear wing off.
Yeah, that was incredible. Like, it was kind of like the old tyre hitting Lance's car at Bathurst. You couldn't have timed that any worse.
And the best ironic part is the fact that the car that hit the wheel that hit Moffat was from the car that's using his dad's livery. Which is funny.
Hey guys, you can't use our livery. Bang! I'll smash your wing off.
But it's it. But I want to point out about it. It's a freak of weird. Like they obviously they'll work out why. Like Supercars will work that out. Because I don't know if you know this, but the ride day the following day, a Camaro lost his wheel too.
On the ride day.
At turn 2.
I did not know that.
He went straight into the fence. So that's what I wanted to tell you. I was like, I might tell you last night. I was like, nah, but this is content.
Wow.
Think about the content.
Really?
So I jokingly said on social media, parity has now sorted. Both cars have the same problem.
Yeah, wow.
But I was like, I couldn't believe it. Because originally, it's on Speed Cafe. They put a thing up about it.
Yeah, that's a fine lip.
I don't know who, but it was a Camaro apparently.
Oh.
Which is really interesting. But they really need to sort that out because we haven't seen that for a while and it's a bit freaky. It shouldn't happen.
Especially on a ride day.
Yeah, I was actually worried because when they said on the Supercar podcast that they'll be using, like, the Tander car will be repaired, ready for ride day the following day, I was actually worried it was going to happen again. And it did, just not with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say which team it was, but it was a Camaro. Wow. With Jack Smith.
Which I hope that resolves for...
No,
Oh, that was
No
cheeky,
offense to
but
Jack Smith, but I wouldn't be surprised. James Courtney will back me up.
Hey,
James Courtney will back me up.
yeah. It could have been though. I really do want to know who though. I don't think we'll find out though, but anyway, back to the race. That created an opportunity for everyone to come in for their first stop of the day, and also gave the opportunity for car 6 to fix their rear wing, but also Chaz Mostert car, which was in the hands of Lee Holdsworth at the time. So they had damage from lap 1 contact, which was causing problems. So they brought it in originally, trying to cut a bit of it out, brought it out, had to come back in literally the following lap just to cut the whole thing off. It was the rear bar. Yep. And they still managed to stay on the lead lap, which was very, very important, but ultimately didn't matter anyway.
Yeah, well,
but
it's unfortunate because those boys are always fun to watch together. It just kind of sucks that they just haven't got a grip on that Mustang yet this year, really. I mean, they've had a few good results, but yeah, this week was definitely one to forget.
That's it. They had a shocking weekend. I was really excited. I was actually really hoping they would do well with Tickford. I wish they carried that speed from the bend, because they had an incredible weekend.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no doubt.
That time out. But it was literally the polar opposite.
Yeah, it was the race of the Camaros this weekend.
Yeah.
But look, some Mustangs did have a good result.
Yes,
We'll
that is true.
And
I just like the tyre wear, the tyre life in the rears, especially the rears, on the Mustang is just shocking. Because I was speaking to a mate of mine, Lockie, if you're listening. Hello. He was in the garage at Blanchard Racing all weekend, and he was giving me cheeky insights about how they're going. And the tyre life just wasn't good. It was just shocking.
I think the super soft tyre has something to do with that. Like, the fact they didn't enduro rate. Are they using the super soft for Bathurst as well?
I hope not, but I have to look into that.
Yeah, see that? I think that's the reason why. Because I don't think it's a good idea to do a super soft.
It's not an enduro tyre.
It's not. It's a super sprint tyre. And I don't know if you heard about Shane Van Gisbergen's podcast from America. It was on the Dale Earnhardt Jr. show, and he cracked into the Supercars Gen 3 car. He hates it.
I love that. I was really glad he did that, because you don't get to see that.
And look, I'm not the biggest Shane Van Gisbergen fan by any means. However, I could not have been more happier about a champion admitting that. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't have said that if he was driving next year. But the fact that he said that openly to the public on another podcast is A, shocking, but B, really good. Because it means that the supercars can get their hands on and try and fix this issue to make the driving more... as fans, we think it's, a spectacle. Cool. But for the drivers, it seems like all they're doing is tyre saving. And no more evidence was proven of that than this weekend.
Yeah, there was a few good battles. But, tyre wear was the story of not even, Formula 1 as well.
Yeah.
But,
you couldn't have put two...
But if you want to hear about that, you have to hear F1 Debrief.
Yeah, you couldn't have put two races on the same weekend that had the exact same tyre situation. It's weird.
It was the exact same race.
Yeah, just one went for 3 hours, one went for an hour and a half.
But literally, one Erebus went off at the final, towards the final lap, almost. Yeah. It's like spinning image, except Russell sort of ended up in the fence, whereas Brown managed to hold it on. But, something has to, be done. Because Gizzy, like you said, he said qualifying is fantastic. And it's incredible how close the field is. But in terms of racing, because all the components are the same, it's very tricky. And tyre life, you got to save it after 2 laps.
I think the thing what they've done with Gen 3 is, yes, the cars are more competitively close. Sure, I get that, because of those control parts. But I think the tire, and the thing is with motorsport is you're meant to see the best drivers win, yeah. But what you're seeing is it's the best tire saver win, and let's
Exactly.
just cut to the chase here. Shane's not winning every race, but he did last year, right?
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is the fact that these tires aren't giving the longevity of every driver to really push the limits. Maybe the super soft, yeah, sure. But the longer races like Newcastle, the Enduros, all those non-super sprint formats, it's really going to show what's happening with these tires.
For sure. And speaking of tyres, I want to get into the pit stops real quick because fueling, like the amount of fuel these cars can carry now and fuel efficiency is very good.
Yeah.
They just need to they just need to do better with the tyre wear. And I'm still pissed off that the fact that they've decided not to upgrade the tyres for next year. Or at least work on that because they ran out of time or something like that for regulations and stuff. But pit stops, in terms of, it was interesting to see how they went with co-driver changes and stuff like that, and brake caliper changes. It was really awkward.
Yeah.
And they changed the air jack from the right to the left. Originally, it was going to be to the right, but it was way too congested. So I'm glad they changed that over.
Yep. Because it would have been right near the driver's door, unlike the last couple of years where it's in the rear window. The thing is that I really don't like how these cars are so hard to get in and out of, because I'm assuming these boys have got bruises, and they said that on Friday. Right? They said that on Friday that some of these guys woke up Saturday morning with dents on their body and just black marks everywhere. And I'm not surprised. Those things are so small to get in and out of.
Especially for the tall blokes.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Caruso and Lee Holdsworth have got no problem. But Shane Van Gisbergen and Chaz or Nick.
You see Shane get in the car, and I don't know about you, but his onboard positioning, I not only think he struggles to get in, but I think he struggles in that seat. Because his knee, I don't know if you noticed on the onboard cameras all year, his knees look very close to the steering wheel. Like he does, and his neck kind of bends forward a little bit. I don't know if that's just normal driving position or not, but I really don't think he's comfortable.
It does remind me of when the Gen 3 prototypes came out. Like they actually had to adjust the seats because Gizzy couldn't fit in properly.
Yeah, he did the ride or the show off there, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that was the problem. Yeah. That was a Bathurst, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. 21.
Yeah.
22. No, definitely 21.
Yeah. But, that was a bit of a mess, and I hope these guys all get massages over the week because they're going to need it for Bathurst, and I'm kind of glad there's a week or 2 weeks difference or, break.
3 weeks. No, 2 weeks now, because the grand finals next weekend, following weekend will be Bathurst. Yeah, so I hope they're going to be feeling it definitely after Bathurst.
Yeah, actually,
for sure.
Let's be honest. The only team, I reckon, the team with the competitive edge is Simona and Kai, because they didn't do this weekend. They would be banged up. Yeah,
and Simona's not overly tall as well, so she should fit in there, hop in and out pretty well.
Yeah, same as well. Kai, he's not overly tall.
I'm very excited to see how they go, and we'll get into that another time.
We haven't even said who the winner was over the weekend.
Yeah, we've just spoken about how Will fell off and went to Chinatown. Let's it continued on the whole race for it.
Yeah.
Let's get on with the winner. Car 88 in the hands of Brock Feeney and Jamie Whincup. They were faultless all day pretty much. They led the pack between the two Erebus cars. And it also marks the 250th win for Triple Eight, which is an amazing achievement, whether you like them or not. It's a massive achievement for the team.
Oh,
and for
massive.
history.
And to think that Whincup and Lowndes are, there for, well, I mean, Lowndes is what, 101 or 2, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Something like
pretty
that. So
yeah,
he's responsible for about 40% of it. Yeah, that's
exactly.
amazing. They've done very well. And actually,
And
the fact that Whincup has won another Sandown 500 now, it's
yeah,
six, and he's just a co-driver.
yeah,
Like, that is so cool. That doesn't happen very often. But yeah, Brock Feeney is an unbelievable replacement to him. It's literally like watching him all over again.
yeah, it's like the Master and the Apprentice,
Oh,
pretty much.
100%.
Like, it's his first ever Sandown 500, and he wins it straight away.
Yeah.
And they manage tyre wear very well. Camaros are better on the tyres, but AAA, I don't know, they know how to save tyres.
Yeah.
Oops, I just whacked my mic to oblivion.
Yeah. That's definitely got some data and some homework in their pack. Obviously all these cars, but they find a way. They find a way. But this isn't the first time Brock Feeney has won a race, on debut. He won at the 500 last year.
And that was incredible.
That was really, and he showed the same confidence he did this week as he did last year in that race. He didn't blink. He was.
No, he's having a really good year.
I think
considering it's his second.
I think he suits his cars better than Shane. No, he's down to third, I think, isn't he? Yeah, he's third.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
Oh, he's not down to third. He always was behind Shane a little bit, I think, since
But considering it's his second year in Supercars, he's doing really well.
Unbelievable. People thought, Brock Feeney is going to be terrible. 1 year in Super 3, 1 year in Super 2. How good can he be? And then wants to replace Jamie Whincup. Yeah, right. But he's proving 100%. He's showing off. He's 20 years old.
He is 20, believe it or not. And don't get me started on Matt Payne.
Yeah,
he seems older than he is, but I think he's either 20 or 19 as well.
Yeah, I think he's 20,
which is insane, with especially how well he drove this weekend. But anyway, car 99, Brody Kostecki and David Russell, championship leaders still after this weekend. They both drove very well and were pretty much faultless all weekend.
Yeah, now obviously they didn't win the race, but that's okay. They didn't lose any positions. They drove, consistently. At the end of the day, they were beaten by I wouldn't say a smarter team, but a team that's done this before. So I think that's all it really comes
main
down
thing
to.
is he's ahead of Gisbergen and Will Brown, which is his championship contenders. Or his main ones.
At the end of the day, he's still in the championship hunt. He didn't lose that many points for it, and it's really cool that those two teams fight at the top. They're 1, 2, 3, 4. So you couldn't ask for a more competitive battle.
That's it. P3, Shane Van Gisbergen and Richie Sanoe. They started 19th. So to be able to come third is a pretty solid drive for both of them. Richie did pretty well for his first Gen 3 race.
Yep.
And Gisbergen did a Gisbergen and was able to just ease the Max Verstappen of Supercars.
Well, in terms of coming to the pack, oh my god, it's like I've seen this before. Last year when he started last and won with a broken rib. Interesting.
Collarbone, that's you just unlocked the memory. That was incredible.
I don't know how he did that. I've never been so angry in my life and confused at the same time. But this guy's a freak, and there's a reason why he's moving on to bigger and better things, because he's that good. But honestly, I'm not shocked. It's a 3-hour and 20-minute race. Qualifying is important, yes, but it's staying out of trouble. It's being consistent. It's saving tires, and Shane has got all that. So I'm not shocked that they finished third. They did say that he made a mistake in qualifying. We saw he went off the road. And he had the pace to be up there in the end anyway. So it doesn't really matter it doesn't matter where you start in the endurance race, really.
And we know how well AAA are, and he's a smart driver. He's not a 3-time champion for nothing.
Shit, exactly. And look, there were 4 or 5 cars that had moved up 10 plus spots in this race. So endurance
Yeah.
racing isn't, qualifying isn't everything. And we've seen that at Bathurst as
No.
well. Chaz won from last. So I'm not surprised at all. And they deserved it. And Richie is
Yeah.
proving that next year he has a worthy seat.
Yeah, and he has a 1-year contract with the team next year as well, so he'll be wanting to get good results almost straight away.
Yeah, as long as that Mustang's even next year, or more even, then he'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. P4, Will Brown and Jack Perkins, who, unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, could have been in Gizzy's spot if it wasn't for running wide at turn 8. He actually downshifted twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which caused that. So that's really unfortunate. But other than that, to be able to set the car on pole after a really good lap, he drove really well this weekend. And for people, since the bend after his horrible weekend, then everyone was like, oh, now he's moving to Triple 8. He's not being treated well now, yada, yada, yada. I think this shuts that down because he was like, even they were leading part of the race as well.
Yeah, well, they had pole position, had a good getaway. Jack Perkins did well at the start. Actually, quite think Jack Perkins drove better in this race than he does in Super 2, to be honest. But that's another story for another day.
You're right.
But I think they'll be up there for Bathurst, though. Like, there's no reason why they can't. So I think they'll do well.
I'll be surprised if they're not.
Yeah, they finished 4th, but there were reasons for that. On pace, they had the pace to win.
5th, which I'm really happy about, Andre Heimgartner and Dale Wood. They started 15th, so the lead of the BGR cars, and they've been able to climb up 10 spots, which is really good.
Yeah, well, like I said, there were 4 or 5 cars that did this. And it's all about strategy, being consistent, staying out of trouble. And that's exactly what they did. And yeah, Andre's been on it this year. I think he's 5th in the championship. Yep. So, yeah. No surprises there. Obviously, they wish they could have done better in qualifying, but like I said before, endurance race, that's not everything. And they showed that.
That's it.
5th position from 15th, you can't ask for much better than that. Very well done.
Yeah. And Andre's having a really good year this year. I'm really happy. He's a great bloke. And it's good to see BJR having a good result. They actually had a clean weekend, considering how much unluckiness they can have.
Yeah, usually Brad Jones at the bank on Monday morning. Yeah. But I don't think he's had to fork out $1 this week, or an extra.
No, which is a change. unless Smith did actually lose the wheel.
Yeah, it could have happened on Monday. we don't know who it happened with, but I don't think we'll find out. But his bank will know if he did or not.
That's it. 6th place, Matt Payne and Kevin Estrie.
This is my man of the match performance. Despite these cars going from gaining 10 plus spots, this is a rookie and a guy who's never driven or doesn't drive a car on the right side. With a stick shift like,
and no assists or anything like that as well. And they both drove very, very well this weekend. And considering, like I said, Matt Payne's like 20 or 19. And
21, found out.
Yeah, and the leader of the fastest Mustang. And he also was setting fast laps as well towards the end.
I'll be honest, when the warm-up, especially this morning, the morning of, I was a tad worried about Kevin Estrie, being able to keep up and staying out of trouble. Obviously, he has the credentials to be one of the best drivers and has a lot of experience, but not in supercars, and that's different. And you see in the past when international drivers come in and they don't do well. But
Alex Premet pretty much is one of the one of the only ones almost.
The thing is with Premet, he had a couple of years in supercars full time.
Yeah, so that's true.
That's different.
True.
I'm thinking of the guys that have done wild cards, like the IndyCar boys a couple of years ago, Hinchcliffe and Rossi. Those type of drivers there who come in. The thing that I think that Kevin would have learnt off a lot was actually probably the other two drivers in the team, Reynolds and Tander. I reckon they would have helped him more than Payne. But it's really nice. It's really cool to see a rookie and an international driver finish sixth. Like, that is really good.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see how they go at Bathurst now that Kevin's got that experience in the supercar.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Very curious to see how they go.
Yeah, I'm so glad the Sandown 500 is back for that reason as well. You know, it's less daunting for the Bathurst 1000 now for these drivers.
Car 7th place, car 17. Solid day for DJR actually. Probably because if Tickford, let's say if Tickford didn't have a bad day as they did, I reckon they'll be lower. But they've been up and down all year. But for them to get 7 and 8, I reckon, pretty decent considering how disadvantaged the Mustangs were. Solid result, I reckon.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think the Davison boys would be a little bit disappointed having started 4th. But, like I said, another car with plus 10 on the positions. Anton and Tony D'Alberto up 12 spots. They had a dismal qualifying. Their car was terrible. They literally qualified 20th. And to finish 8th, that's a very solid effort. Obviously, DJR is used to finishing higher up, but in a situation where your car's not great, I think they'll take that.
And especially, they actually got a penalty for unsafe release as well. I think they made contact with, I can't remember who, but for that to happen and then to climb back up to 8th is, you got to be happy with that at least.
Yeah, 100%.
Ninth. I keep saying car number. Ninth position, car 23. Tim Slade and Jono Webb. I didn't see much of them this weekend.
No, they were quite achievers.
Solid result for them.
How good is Jonathan Webb? I don't know about you, but every year he does really well as an enduro driver.
He does.
And he can have the worst. He's had some terrible co-driver or main game drivers with him. And they always somehow do. I think he always finishes in top 10 at Bathurst. I don't know. He's just really solid. It's like none of that fire's left him. And let's be honest.
And I don't think he's done any driving either.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't that much. He wasn't that successful as a driver when he was in the main game. But he's just. I don't know. He's a weird character. He's very quiet, but he's definitely a quiet achiever.
Bloody quick. Yeah. And speaking of quick, we've got in 10th, Craig Lowndes and Zane Goddard.
Another one of these top 10 plus cars that finished with 10 spots. The 23rd.
And, despite having a poor qualifying, because Zane Goddard, he was fast in the last practice, so he was going to qualify the car. Didn't have a good qualifying, but they were able to recover this weekend. And Lowndes, he had a pretty good stint. He was climbing up the field. He was on a charge. It's like old Lowndes was back.
Yeah, 100%.
But
that was really cool to see.
No, I was really happy.
Yeah, I think Lowndes did.
And the car looks cool too.
Yeah, definitely one of the best looking cars on the grid. But I think Craig's he's on these wild cards for a couple of years now, and I think he's probably got the best co-driver he's had in a while. So. It was really cool to see them gain 13 spots of the day. But look, this experience shows. So, I'm not surprised at all that he's finished top 10.
He did have a little bit of a moment, though, with Robotham, though.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing where they're on the kink and on the back straight they touched, but all is well afterwards. 11th position, another one that I didn't really see much of, and I literally got no notes because I don't really know. Mark Winterbottom and Michael Caruso.
Yep.
Started 13th, moved up a couple positions. That's literally all I can say.
Yeah, me too. The mid pack we didn't really see much of. We'll probably skip James Courtney and Zach Best as well because not much about them.
Yeah, they finished 12th, started 14th. Again, not much happened. 13th, Declan Fraser, Tyler Everingham. Also, not much happened, but they did. That was quite achievers as well.
I don't think Declan Fraser's finished top 15 all year. If I could be wrong, but obviously it doesn't happen very often, and he's done it with a driver who's not even in Super 2 this year. So, is he?
And I think he actually got everyone. He's in Trans Am, I think. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
yeah. So there you go. Like, that's a very good result. 13.
But and I think they got spun around as well. Or they were, I don't know, they were involved in an incident, and then literally it was funny. I cracked up laughing, like because James Courtney was involved, and then I think Randall was involved, or one of the monster car was involved too. So I was like, all three of them. I was like, that just sums up their weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they
14th, Bryce Forward, Dean Fury. Good weekend. Stayed out of trouble, moved up the field, especially from 25th to 14th.
Yeah.
Got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I watched the post-race video with Mr. BJR Brad Jones, and yeah, he was very pleased with the performance. Obviously, the car wasn't great leading up to the race. Even in the practice sessions, they weren't tremendous. But something happened well, and they stayed out of trouble. It was nice and consistent, and yeah, boys picked up 11 spots.
Yeah, got to be happy with that. 15th, also, again, quiet achievers. James Golding, well, not quite achiever because he only moved up 3 spots, but James Golding and Dylan O'Keefe. You didn't see much of them again. The only time I really saw them was when Jack Smith got in a pickle with Aaron Love.
Yeah, that was awkward.
That time.
That was very awkward. But
and they were lucky it didn't get, like, there weren't any damage.
Yeah.
Or
Could have been
like
a lot worse. Could have been the old
oh yeah, for sure.
The Castro and this in a couple of years ago.
For
yeah,
sure.
Definitely could have been a lot worse.
16th place, Jack LeBrock and Jaden Ojeda.
This was really disappointing. They had a lot of pace.
It was, especially how well the car has been throughout the year. Of course, Jack got that win in Darwin, and he's moving to Erebus next year. Just not where they want to be. And they also got a mechanical black flag for loose bodywork as well, which didn't help.
No.
But
Jaden and Jada had a lot of pace. I was quite surprised. Him was top 5 in the co-driver session, I believe. And he definitely showed his strengths.
No, I think they did well. It's just things didn't work out well for them, and just wasn't their
We
day.
know they have the pace, and I think those two, provided they stay out of trouble and have no incidents, they could be a pretty good duo at Bathurst.
Car 17. I said it again. Bloody hell. Position 17. Car 3, who started 6th. They were on for a good result for first half of the race, and then Tywear they struggled massively. When they fell back down to 17. It's not a good look, unfortunately. And especially when Todd is racing for his seat for next year.
Yeah, they haven't signed anyone yet, have they?
No, so they've got 2 cars. They haven't announced anyone yet. But there's rumours going around with James Courtney being linked there. Yep. Aaron Love might end up there. Who knows? But stay tuned for another video for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Todd's moved to a team with the Mustang at the worst possible time. He was very good in qualifying, and he's had a few moments this year where he's been top 5, top 10. But apart from that, it's unfortunately kind of normal proceedings for that team this weekend. It was
great to see him in the shootout, though. I do have to give him.
Yeah, that was cool. But like I said, his qualifying has not been bad this year. I mean, the thing is with Todd, I don't know, it's weird. He either starts last or top 10. There's no in between.
He's not consistent, like the others.
And it's unfortunately down to the track, I think. Which is a bit odd, but we'll see how how they go at Bathurst. Obviously, we know that they have done good things in the past at Bathurst as a team.
Yeah,
CMC.
Yeah, exactly. Position 18, Jack Smith, Jackson Evans. Again, didn't see much of them. Just a normal result, really, for them, I reckon.
Not
I said it again. 19th, Macaulay Jones and Jordan Boys. Stayed out of trouble. Again, you sort of expect them to be here, although he started 24th, so solid recovery. Back up the field, moving up 5 spots, but I reckon they still win the award for the sickest livery.
Really?
Well, it looks cool. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one.
I think it's more funny than cool. Like,
yeah, okay.
it's
Let's be honest. In my opinion, I will go with Lounces. I reckon it's clean and it's sick.
Personally, we haven't talked about liveries at all. But obviously, we didn't talk about it. But I actually think the Truck Assist is my favorite livery out of everyone this year.
It is a nice car.
I think the orange is mid. Anyway,
it is nice. No, but that's a nice little
side note.
I actually do. I do like Winterbottoms though.
Yeah, that's second favorite. I just think black needs to be on every car. I don't know. I have this fascination with black being on race cars, and yeah, it's just
after the McLaren this weekend, I agree with you.
Yeah, 100%.
What we're up to 20.
Cam Waters, Mr. No Wing.
Oh, what a weekend for them, hey! They were on for a good result. They could have potentially won today if it wasn't for the fact that they had no wing.
Yeah, see, that's quite crucial.
Yeah, especially that's one way to take off downforce.
A little bit. Australian speed would have been alright, but no. Apart from that, it's a death trap.
But so their race was done.
Yeah,
straight off the bat, unfortunately. But not much to talk about with them after that. Car 21st, car 20, Scott Pye and Warren Luff. I don't really know what happened to them this weekend. I didn't really see them. They started 21st, finished 21st.
They were just there.
They're the only car that didn't move a single position.
Oh
no, sorry, Brody Kostecki, David Russell. But we saw them.
They actually raced at the front. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Scott. I personally don't see Scott Pye on the grid next year. Unfortunately, I think I'll move on to something like the Porsches or something, in a bit of a Fabian Coulthard type role.
I reckon he could do well on the Porsches.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
There we go. But,
maybe I reckon he's very unlucky.
Yeah, I think that they'll do better at Bathurst because Warren Luff has had a lot of success at Bathurst and has always been.
And of course, they got a podium together back in 2017. I think.
Even though this says 21st here at Sandown, I think that they'll be a bit higher up at Bathurst.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of people who should be up there at Bathurst. 22nd place, Chaz Moster and Lee Holdsworth. First off, weekend, they were just nowhere. Even Nick Percat and Fabian Coulthard in 23rd.
They're right next to each other.
Yeah, perfect.
What's going on with them?
They were nowhere all weekend, unfortunately. Started 16th, started 26th. Like I said, bodywork problem. I think he... Did he? I'm just having a look if he got a... No, never mind. I was going to say something, but then... That would have been me lying.
Fair enough.
But disappointing weekend for them both. Especially how well Chaz did at the bend.
Yeah.
It's
so weird.
Polar opposites again.
It's so weird. I think every Mustang was like that, this week. They had those upgrades for the bend, and then all of a sudden it's like they weren't even on the car this week.
Well, what? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7 Camaros in the 10.
Yeah, so there you go.
So that shows that
that's not that all year, and unfortunately, these boys at WAU have had, I'd say, the worst of it. Their car's been, besides Blanchard's, I think that Nick Perkat's had a shock year. He hasn't had much.
I'm glad he found a seat at MSR though.
So do I. And honestly, if the transparency between the two cars and the go by, he'll finish higher than Chaz next year.
I do find it funny actually how him and who was the other one?
Reynolds.
Reynolds. They're both moving from Mustang to Camaro, so it'll be very interesting to see how they go next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if the cars are the same way they are this year to the next year, and there's been a Supercars going to do huge changes year to year, then this is possible, and I think that Nick could potentially finish higher than Chaz next year in the championships.
Well, we've seen what he can do. They both are very good, and he's earned another seat for a reason. So hopefully we get to see that.
I think this will be his last straw, though. Let's be honest.
I reckon. 24th position, Aaron Love and Jake Kostecki, the wild card for Blanchard Racing. I think they did well, considering it's Blanchard's second car squad.
Yeah. And with
they stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, and with a guy who's never driven in the main game as the main driver as well, I think.
Or the Sandown 500 is his first time as well.
100%. And Jake Kostecki is trying to make his name for himself to come back into the main game. They did well, consistent, no incidents, not that I know of.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to be up there with Shane Gisberg and that, but I was expecting them to just stay out of trouble, make the most of this race and learn a lot, and they pretty much did. The only problem they had was that moment with Jack Smith, but again, tyre wear I think affected them as well because let's just face it, every Mustang had tyre wear issues.
Yeah.
But other than that, they did really well. 25th position, the last of the finishers. Yep. Thomas Randall and Gary Jacobson. Disappointing after starting 9th. They were doing pretty well until a rock ended their day. It actually tore the power steering belt.
Really?
Which made it really hard for Jacobson to steer. But I think 10 laps later, they were able to make it back out and survived.
Yep.
Unlike Cameron Hill, Jay Robotham, and Garth Tander, and David Reynolds.
Yeah, well, that's all the field. But yeah, I think Thomas Randall and Gary Jacobson, unfortunately, one to forget for them. Just, really unfortunate. Literally nothing you can say about them.
Yeah. But, because originally I thought contact with a DJR car, I think it was Anton, or whoever was, I think it was, I don't know. I don't think it was Anton in the car, but I thought they made wheel contact. But no, it was obviously a lot worse than that. And for Cameron Hill, Jay Robotham, they did well. Jay did pretty well, considering he was battling a very, very experienced driver of Craig Lowndes.
Yeah.
But unfortunately a damper bolt broke, which caused Cameron Hill to go off at turn 9 and get stuck in the gravel, which ended their day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so they'll hope to do better at Bathurst. And of course, we've already spoken what happened to Garth Tander and David Reynolds.
Yeah, everyone knows about that. Unfortunate, but they will be definitely one to compete.
Sure.
That'll be a very big threat. Those two. And
of course, Tander, did he won Bathurst last year, didn't
he? Yeah, with
Yeah. So, he definitely knows how to steer. He's very, very experienced. Well, David's also won. So
that's what I'm saying.
Expect them to do very well.
I think those two, if they have 4 wheels in the car, I reckon they'll be a contender.
I reckon. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Let's
funny
fix that issue first, and then we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I really hope they've got 3 weeks to resolve it. Hopefully they find a reason, because you don't want to see that, especially at Bathurst. So in terms of overall weekend, it wasn't too bad. It was nice to get the 500 back. Wasn't the world's most exciting race, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I am more looking forward to Bathurst though, because it's Bathurst.
Yeah. Oh, it's also going to be big. It's the 60th anniversary as well, not to mention. So there's going to be heaps of build-up. The trophy's already, there's going on a world tour, like that's what they call it.
Yeah. Let's just hope that there's some reliability with all the cars for this race, because
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But I reckon keep a massive eye out for Brock Feeney, Whincup, and basically the top 4 of today.
Top 4, and then
race. Keep an eye out for them.
4, and then I'd add. Who will we add? Let's have a look. I think genuinely contenders who weren't there at Sandown would be Cam Waters, Moffat, Chaz and Lee, and then Tander and Reynolds. I think
completely
everyone
agree.
else, obviously everyone has a chance, but those would be your biggest contenders. I would even put Andre Heimgartner up there as well.
Oh yeah, I reckon he's very consistent.
Yeah.
So if anything does happen, he'll be ready.
Yeah.
I reckon. So
should we do a tip though?
That's
should we do a tip for the, should we do a tip for Bathurst? No.
We'll save it for closer, because I'll do we'll do like a preview rant. Cut out.
Cut that out. Alright, cool. Wrap it up.
Because we'll do a Bathurst preview in the coming weeks. But that's all the action from the Sandown 500. Let me know in the comments what you thought, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Oh, ice cream. Thank you very much. Content. Yeah, if you liked it, hit a like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. You can access this pod and the F1 Debrief on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeartRadio. I think that's it. Alex, thank you for joining me. You can reach him out on his socials. All the links will be in the description below. Yeah, that's all from me. Any final thoughts from you?
Well, appreciate you having me on the show. It was good fun.
That's right. I'm going to go enjoy this ice cream now.
Cool.
So I'll catch you all later. Bye for now.